Hi there, my name is Jessie and I am here to help you out if you are a D&D newbie and someone has invited you to join their one shot or maybe give a try to a campaign and they're like, hey, yo, we're doing this thing on Thursday night and we've already got a campaign going, but like we're only third level, so if you wanted to join and make a third level character, you could totally do that. And then maybe your friend walked you through how to make a third level character and you've got your character sheet, but then you're like, I don't even know what else to do. Don't worry, I got you. Kind of. Because I'm also, if you can't tell from the video title, a D&D newbie. I've only been playing for like 8 months. So I got some learning to do still. But what you're going to want for your first time playing D&D with either experienced people or other newbies are a few things. And there are a few different ways to go about doing these things. First of all, this is the D&D Player's Handbook. And you can get it on Amazon. However, I like supporting local businesses more. So I got mine at a local store for $45. And that just goes to support that store. And actually, our book is like a little off on the main text. So it looks like you're supposed to be able to read it in 3D. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of weird. But that's just how that goes sometimes, you know, printing, not always the best. But your player's handbook is going to be super awesome to be a resource for different items, what races, what classes you can choose, everything. And like what armor you can do and like what spells you can cast if you're going to cast spells. Choosing your first character is a whole nother story that I will not go into right now, but there are multiple ways that you can do a character sheet. You can print them out and they'll be blank from D&D Beyond. You can also do the D&D Beyond subscription, and then the character sheets, once you complete them, come out looking a little something like this. This is my Eldritch Knight gnome, who is 5th fighter level, 1st level rogue, and she's who I'm currently playing, and her name's Catnip Noodleker. And then I wanted to show you what we used to use, which was, and we still kind of use it every once in a while, Hero Lab. And that's a program that you can do as well. And so they're a little bit different. They come out a little bit different. I personally like the D&D Beyond because it's more visually appealing to my artistic brain. It's like organized in a way that makes sense to me. And all of these numbers will make sense to you as you play. And also, this player's handbook is not necessary. So if you're looking at that and you're like, holy shit, I don't want to spend $45 just to play a game for one night. You don't have to. You can print out the basic rules for free online, which is awesome. So the barrier for entry to play Dungeons and Dragons is very minimal. The next thing you'll need are dice. And of course, you can buy some on Amazon, or you can buy some from your local store. I bought an array of them on Amazon, and I have like 4 different colors of each of them, and each dice is, or die, is going to be a different, I don't know how to call it, level of numbers. So this is called a D4 because it only goes up to D4. So when I started playing, it took me a little bit to remember, because when you're getting told to, all right, you get to roll a D10 or a D12 or D8 damage, I would freak out just because I get stressed easily. And I'm like, I don't know which one's a D10 and which one's a D12. Well, this guy here that looks like a flying saucer, that's a D10 because it only goes up to 10. That 0, that's a 10. Then this one is a D12, and it's 12-sided, and there's the 12, and that's the highest it goes up to. These are my like fire, fury, flame, death dice. And these are my Team Princess Sparkle Kitty Unicorn dice. I like these ones and these ones the most. And then I also got, because my Masterwork short bow is a D6 for damage, which you'll learn about. I saw these on Etsy, and they are little tiny skulls on the D6s, and they made me so happy. And then my boo tagged them and saved them and then bought them for me, I think for Christmas or my birthday. I don't remember, but it was really cute and fun. So you will need die. And you don't even necessarily have to buy them, because I've noticed as I've played, there's always a plethora of die available from your other players. Some players, though, you'll notice, and don't take this personally, but they are very protective of their die. So don't take that personally, though. It's just like a thing where it's like they got mojo on their die and they don't want you to touch them. That's their sandbox. Stay out of their sandbox. Has nothing to do with you, though. Then I personally made my own dice tray, because we play on a big plastic table, and so rolling the dice on the plastic table or on your character sheet or whatever, it gets kind of crazy. So this was just a dice. I mean, I don't know. It's like some silly wood thing at Michael's, and I bought it, painted it, put felt on the bottom, and then put some, jewels. Just normal stuff, everyday kind of thing. And you can use whatever you want for a die bag. And I have this because it makes me really happy. And I just got that somewhere randomly. So character sheet, rule book, or the PDF of rules. I've heard that it's kind of frowned upon if you keep borrowing someone else's handbook. So if you decide that you do want to play D&D, buy your own handbook. I heard that's just a thing. But you can also print out the free basic rules. Die. Handbook. Character sheet. Dice tray if you want one. And something that I did that I didn't realize wasn't a normal, well, it might be a normal thing, but it wasn't like a common thing. But when I first played, because I was invited to play with my boo, who had been playing with a group of guys, and I was coming in as a newbie, and I didn't want to mess anything up. And I have the memory of a fish, and when I get put under pressure or stressed, I forget things. And so the first time I played, it was as a bard, and that character has spells, and so I didn't want to forget anything. So I made color-coded note cards for my different things that I could do. So this is for my current character now, the Eldritch Knight Gnome. So the green is abilities, like different racial and class and background abilities, so that I can remember. So something that I have, like Action Surge, or something that I keep track of with rolls. Those are there, but they don't cost spell slots. They cost their own slots. Then the whole reason my character's name is Catnip is because you get these things called cantrips. But cantrip doesn't make sense to me as a word. I don't know why catnip does more, but they don't cost spell slots, so they're pink because I can use them as much as I want, one per turn. Those are pink. And then my different spells. And as you can see, I learned that Eldritch Knight, after I already decided on spells, can only choose spells from 2 specific schools. And I had to remove the spells that I chose and pick new spells, which, that happens. That's one thing with D&D. Be flexible. And usually you'll have a pretty good DM, dungeon master, who will work you through those kinds of things. So you got your spell note cards if you want to. I will tell you, though, that nothing will earn you more respect than showing up at the table with note cards of your spells. even if you mess up a bunch, they know that you like really meant to do well. So that saved me, I think, because I probably messed up a bunch, but I was paying really good attention and I really tried. Then a notebook or something to take notes with. I actually have what's called a rocket book, with all my feminist stickers all over it. But you get to, in the rocket book, it's erasable. And then you get to decide what you want your topics to be. So I have catnip, DnD. And each session, I keep my notes. And then at the end of the session, because it's got this little, whatever that thing is, it gets uploaded to a folder that I designated in my Google Drive. So each week, I take notes. And you can see here I keep track of how many spells I've used. And then how many slots of the luck spell. Blah, blah, blah. Take notes on special names. And then... Oh. So this one time, we entered this fight thing. And I decided I passed a note to the DM. And I said that I wanted to make shirts. And so he told me how much gold it would be, and I paid him. And then once we got to the arena, I said, okay, and my character and Catnip hands out these, you have the choice between like a cut-off tank top or a crop top. And they said, the Saviors of Parnast, and then it's about to get Parnasty. And that was super cool. And now I have to make them in real life because I said I would. So make sure you have a notebook or something to write stuff down because you will want to take notes. Even though it's just one session, it's a lot of fun too because if you say something really good or something fun happens, just take it down. And then like you get to scrapbook it and like remember it later. Memory of a fish. I like to write things down. Another thing you can have, but you don't necessarily have to have, and I pulled out the one I actually use, but also I have the other ones. This is my mini that has been painted. I did not paint this, but that's my little gnome. And before we realized that she can't have certain spells, we gave her a, whatever that thing is, I forget. And I even have, Find Familiar. We gave her Find Familiar and realized that she can't cast that spell because she doesn't have it. So we adapted it and took away the like super cool powers of Find Familiar. But an owl, so she's got an owl and she's little and she's super cute. One thing, if you are a woman watching this or a very concerned feminist male, minis and the breast size or butt size, like, kind of concerning. So I bought a bunch of Reaper minis because I didn't know what I wanted to be, and they were like $2, and they were so freaking cute and tiny. I bought a bunch at the store that I also got the player book at. But like, you can see, like, I don't know if you can see that. That's a bard playing a flute. And like, you could see her butt cheeks perfectly as if she's not wearing anything. And then half of them have their midriffs showing, which, I don't know, man. If I was going to fight a battle, I don't think I'd have my midriff showing. I just don't. And like, all of them do. So I get it if like one or two of them did. Because, you know, guys show their midriff during battle, sure. But, man, we gotta do better with that. But this one's really cool. Tiefling. Death something, I don't know. Anyway, so you can get a mini. Some of them are very cheap. Some of them are very expensive. These ones are Reaper minis. And they were like $2.99. $2.99 at that gaming store. But, again, don't be too disappointed if it's just like, wow, this one's boobs are like bigger than its head. We need more women designing, or conscious men. Like, not all men are, big boob making mini dudes. So we need more of those dudes making minis. But there's websites also that you can make your own mini. And those are really cool too. Those are way more pricey though, so I have not yet done that. And that, my friends, is what I'm going to say you should have for your first session. Also a positive attitude. Also the ability to adapt. I know different DMs do things differently, so if you watch a video and you see DMs call something some way, or they say that they would run a dungeon this way or that way, and your DM doesn't, it's my understanding that there's a wide variety of people out there, and they do things a wide variety of ways. So don't take it personally, or if you're still interested in playing, find a store close to you and find a different game that you can try to join. And that, I'm going to say, is my video. I really hope that if you're invited to a session, you go and you're really excited about it because it is super fun, and you go with an open mind and just make sure you've got either a handbook or just like rules printed from online, or even on your phone, you can just scroll, and a character sheet, or if they go and they make the character with you, so if it's like called a session 0, they will make the character with you, and that's super cool. And you'll have some die or borrow some die, but don't get butthurt if someone else gets butthurt because they don't want you to borrow their die. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And note cards, if you have spells or abilities, it'll get you brownie points. And, bedazzled dice tray, always a bonus. Always a bonus. And a mini, if you got one. Otherwise, usually the DM will have a bunch of minis that you could choose from. And that's it. Have fun. D&D is super cool, so I'm really excited for you. Comment below if you had your first D&D session. If I missed anything, I'm sure I did. Comment below. Subscribe if you want to learn more, or comment with what you do want to learn. And man, I'm just so excited for you and your new D&D journey, and I'm excited for mine. So thanks, and have a fantastic day and a great session this week or this month or whenever you play next. Cheers.